Welcome to the Lakers Zone.
Hello Clayton State sports fans. For this segment of Lakers Zone, I'm meeting with Clayton State women's and men's cross country coach, Coach Mike Mead, who is in his 18th season here at Clayton State. The Lakers cross country teams have competed in 2 meets so far this season and continue to train, gearing up for their conference and regional finals meet. Firstly, Coach Mead, thank you for joining us here on Lakers Zone. The first question we would like to ask you is, could you give us an update on how the season has started so far?
Well, we've gotten off to a decent start. We've had 2 cross-country meets so far. Our season's kind of broken down into 3 segments, so we're entering our second segment. But the first segment of the season, we ran at Berry College for a meet there. Both teams finished 6th out of about 14 or 15 schools. And our most recent meet was at Georgia State. It was a very small meet, so we were 3rd out of 4 schools. But there was some Division I, Division III, Division II, and NAI representation. So we've gotten off to a good start, though.
And with your new talented group of newcomers, how have they summed up so far?
They've been doing super right now. On the women's side, Raquel Valadez, she's a transfer from Oklahoma City University, and she's led us the first 2 meets and has fit in very nicely. And we have freshman Taylor Galvin, who's a younger sister of Paige Galvin, who's our senior member of the team. And she's been making the adjustment, but has been coming on here as far as with training and stuff the last few weeks. And our third newcomer to the team this fall is Kendra Wilson. Unfortunately for Kendra, she had gotten injured early this year at her previous school. She's also a teammate of Raquel's from Oklahoma City. So she's kind of on that recovery trail, so we're giving her the time to adjust. On the men's side, Joe Camboy, he's come out. He's a freshman out of Kenya that we brought in, and he's led our men the first 2 meets, more on guts than anything that he's done. And then Matthew Bailey is a teammate of Kieran Lane, both 2 more Oklahoma City transfers. Kieran and him and Matthew have been making some adjustments, particularly to the warmer, humid conditions that they're used to. So, because Kieran's from Ireland and Matthew is from Washington State.
Okay.
So.
Okay, great. And then with your solid group of returnees this year, how are they going to help you out with your squad?
Well, on the women's side, it's just solid leadership and experience. As I mentioned, Paige Galvin, she's really the blood and guts of the team, and pretty much how Paige runs, the team runs. And as we get in this middle phase of the season, I think you're going to see a lot of that moving forward. Sam Walling, Jr., she's been real consistent over the last year or 2 in contributing. And then still, she's a veteran, but still new, Jessica Smith, who was led us early last season. And she's been having a real strong workout sessions here over the last few weeks. And it's somebody who has really shown a vast improvement, Maya Kunin. She's a sophomore as well, and I'm just going to be interested in this middle phase of how everybody in that group comes along. And then I don't want to forget Giselle Javois or Holly McNorton, who've also been coming on and showing a lot of improvement this fall. So they came in better prepared, I think, in the expectations. On the men's side, we took a little bit of a hit. We've been kind of nicked up and stuff the last few weeks, and then we're out without 2 veterans this year, one due to injury and one due to eligibility. So the guys we have in there fighting for us, Scooter Anderson, he's a junior. He was probably the top returning guy from last season. And he didn't have a great meet to open the season, but he made up for it this past meet. And it helped us. We were only like 7 points, I think it was, or maybe 9 points out of winning the Georgia State meet. So we're just a little bit weak in the number 5 spot. We've got Arlington Askew. He's a junior who he's been nicked up but when he's on, he's on. So he opened the season with a personal best. So when you start off the season like that, there's good things coming. And then we have our lone senior on the team, if I've got that right, Ricky Fort. He didn't run with us last year, 2 seasons ago he did. And he's on the verge of getting ready to graduate, but he still had a year of cross-country eligibility. So he's been working hard there. And then Tanner Thomason also is looking strong as well.
Okay, fantastic. So as you said, you're in the second stage of your season now. What are your expectations from now until the end?
Well, it's getting some competition. Our next meet at the Falcon Classic here in a couple of weeks, or our next upcoming meet, it's going to test us on some of the teams in our league in the Peach Belt. So we'll be seeing them at that competition. And then about 2 weeks after that, we go down to Orlando for the Disney Classic, which brings you just never know who you're going to be running up against. Division I primarily, but there's some good Division IIs and IIIs. And that'll be our big test for the season as we get ready, because in the next competition after the Disney will be the Peach Belt.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks, Coach Mead, for taking the time to join us on this episode of Lake Home. For those of you at home, thank you very much and join us next time.